So this is my third video that I've tried to do on AWS Lightsail, and I'm just really struggling to try and figure out what this thing is and what I'm supposed to use it for. So let's see if this one has a better success rate than the other videos that are now sitting in the trash can. So I get that Lightsail is this way of launching EC2 instances and containers evidently, but it really to me just looks like a wrapper around all the tools that we already have in EC2. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. So I'm on the screen here and I can create an instance. And then there's some pre-installed apps here. I can do WordPress, LAMP, Node, and so on. But I could already do this in EC2. You can just grab these same images and launch them in EC2. And the problem I have with this is whenever I kickstart one of these and launch it, it builds it in its own network. So now it's not part of my existing VPC, and I can add databases to it. You know, I can pick from MySQL or Postgres, but I can't pick from any of the other database offerings from AWS. And then, is this part of RDS? If I launch one of these, is this going to be an RDS instance? I don't think so, because it's created its own little network in here that's independent from all my other AWS resources. And then let's talk about scaling. Let's say that I did launch this instance and I launched a Node.js instance, and then my application here really takes off and starts to scale. So now what do? I can't really scale this. There's no such thing as auto scaling here. So I've got to launch another EC2 instance inside of Amazon Lightsail. And then there's the ability to put a load balancer in here, but I already had load balancers over in EC2, and I also have the ability to auto-scale EC2 instances in EC2, so I'm losing those features as well. And then the image comes with Redis too. So now I've got two instances there, each with their own copy of Redis. So now whenever I populate my Redis cache, I have to do that on multiple instances, or I have to set my load balancers up so that they're sticky, so that I make sure that whenever a person or a user hits one server and does something with the Redis cache, that they continue to hit that server so that they don't end up on the other server where their information's not in the Redis cache, and now I've lost the ability to create a stateless application. Not to mention that CI/CD is a complete nightmare on this thing. I tried to set one up and integrate it with AWS Code Deploy, thinking, okay, that's another AWS product. Surely it integrates well with that. No, it doesn't. So you have to go through the complete setup of AWS Code Deploy in creating an AWS policy, an AWS role, an AWS user account for Code Deploy, and then creating the appspec.yaml file that you get installed on this instance somehow. And then inside of that, along with your code repo, you have to have these bash scripts that run for the different lifecycle stages of Code Deploy so that your deploy and restart processes work like you think they're going to. So I'm left wondering what's the point of all this? So is this supposed to compete with something like Heroku? If so, it completely missed the mark. Heroku, you're up and running, end-to-end deployed. As long as you've got a repo and a Docker file, you're looking at maybe 15 minutes most before your application is live. And along with that, you get auto scaling that's built into it, you get logging that's built into it, you get monitoring and metrics that are built into it, and you get the Heroku interface for adding different things like databases, pretty much every database platform you can imagine, and every Elasticsearch and every Redis cache that you want. Plus, they've got this third-party integration where you can add application performance monitoring from Scout or New Relic into it. You don't get any of that stuff with Lightsail, so I can't see this as being like a competitor to Heroku. So maybe it's a competitor to something like DigitalOcean. Now, I've not personally used DigitalOcean, but I know that it's a similar concept where you have a server that's given to you and you work with that server. But I just got to imagine that like the CI/CD integration for DigitalOcean has got to be a lot smoother than trying to integrate with CI/CD on Lightsail. On the other hand, if like their target audience is for WordPress, because they've got the pre-packaged WordPress image on there, if you really wanted to run your own WordPress installation, sure, you could do it this way, or you could just use Bluehost, because within just a few minutes you can get a Bluehost account set up, get a WordPress site provisioned and configured for you, and then they take care of the backups for you. They take care of doing all of the WordPress updates for you. They do security scans for you. They do the CDN work for you. Like all of that's just done for you for, I think it's like $15 a month. Or if you use my promo code, nah, just kidding. I don't really have a promo code for Bluehost, but it's still relatively cheap. So I'm really struggling with what the hell is Lightsail for? I don't get it. Either I'm just so far removed from being the target market that I don't see it, or possibly they missed the shot with their target market. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing on AWS. I love AWS. Every client I have, I put them on AWS. I like it better than GCP. I like it better than Azure. I think they've got a great suite of products, but this just feels like it's a wrapper around their already existing products. And AWS, let me tell you, the problem that your customers are facing is not a lack of products to choose from. So giving them more products that are wrappers around your existing products is not helping the situation. So my summary here, after multiple attempts, I just got to say that Lightsail might be light and it might be sailing, but so was the Titanic, man.
I'm the king of the world!
I just don't get what it's used for. If you've been successful with Lightsail, drop a note down in the comments below and let me know what you think of it. If you found this video helpful, be sure and like it, and go ahead and subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications so that you get notified whenever I release new videos on DevOps for developers. And with that, I'm sailing away.